Satya, like you were in pharma, you say, and you are not here to do politics. I really appreciate that. Also, what Dr. Hema Divakar said. Someone then at the hospital did not take care to check very clearly, was negligent.
So, see, normally what happens, quality control is done in two phases. One at the manufacturing place. In the hospital phase, doctor is saying that the quality check happens in the hospital. But my experience is ultimate quality check, what the nurses do is, in the IV bottle, they turn it and see if there are any particles there, residual particles are there. If no residual particles are there, they give the IV. I don't know. No, she is a better judge. I am not an authority over that. But that is what I have seen, where nurses or the doctors have a check. If there are some particles, residual particles are there, they put that out. Okay, but if there is no residual particles, I doubt if at the hospital end they can do any quality check. So most of the quality check should be done at the manufacturer's place, point number one, or the drug controller who are from Karnataka or at West Bengal should do random checks at the manufacturer's place or take samples and do the checks. So if both there are some lacuna which has happened, then the concerned authorities should be taken to task. No doubt about that. Today it is a case of 5 mothers. Tomorrow it can become 50. Tomorrow it can become 100.
Absolutely, Satya. But so all this, but these checks and balances. Yes, Satya. But all these checks and balances also sound very random. Yahan kar lo, nahi to wahan kar lo. There has to be a system in place. There has to be very strict adherence, like it's in the West. If this happened in the West, God, everyone will be sued, and like how? And Satya Prakash, do you think state governments and the central governments can afford so much of a manpower to kind of have checks and balances at each place? Satya, let's be realistic. Where is the budget? Where are the people?
Yeah. See, 2 doctors are there. I am not a doctor. I was just in the pharma industry for a brief while after my post-graduation. Once a medicine is packed, you tell me at the hospital or inside the maternity ward where cesarean is happening, what can the doctors, what sort of checks they can do? Only checks that are possible is at the manufacturer's place where the license, they are supposed to send continuous samples to the drugs department, point number one. Second thing, what the local drug inspectors and the local drug the generals can do is go to the hospitals, pick up random samples and send it for tests. That's all. You tell me 2 doctors are sitting. What else can the doctor do? Maximum they will do in an IV fluid is they will look at if some particles are there. If it is the solid, the liquid is clear, they will go ahead, because all the drugs are supposed to be of prime quality before they reach the hospital. At the hospital, you can't do the checks, isn't it? Hospital is not meant to do the checks. Hospital is meant to administer whatever drugs are required.
So right. Okay, I accept. Yeah, I agree.
The doctor spend time in checking
maybe
I have my own doubts. There are 2 doctors sitting there. Let them answer about it.
How about cancelling the license of this Poschim, Bongo, whatever pharmaceutical, because the buck stops there then? Why did they send this spurious or rather, infected
Absolutely.
IV? The license should be cancelled. They should be asked to go home. Their factories should be shut. They should be paying compensation to the families. 2 lakhs per family is what Siddaramaiah has given. Let them pay. Who's going to bring those women back, sir?
Absolutely. I am with you, Sudha. But what I am saying is I am being more sympathetic to those government doctors. Always don't think the government hospitals are very bad. I had my surgery in government hospital Victoria. Beautiful. Fantastic. So not all hospitals are bad. Here some aberration has happened. Let us take it in the right spirit. Okay? And let us find out a probe is on. If the probe says
before I finish, let me explain. I'm not blaming government hospitals. I'm a product. I was born in a government hospital. My children were born in a government hospital. Second, it's not an aberration, Satya. It's a tragedy.
Absolutely.
It's murder. It's not an aberration. No one is taking it lightly. The buck stops. The buck needs. I'm not blaming any doctors here. I said very clearly that no doctors and medical staff. I'm not apportioning blame. but it has to be taken extremely seriously. The West is successful because they take it very seriously.
Lakhs and lakhs of IV fluids would have gone in government hospitals. Lakhs and lakhs.
All right. On that note, I think this is not.
And across the nation, it is in millions.
It's not routine, and I think it's a serious tragedy. And I hope that by tomorrow, day after, thorough investigation, like Dr. Gowda said, is, we find out the real reasons. That is this just an eye wash, or there is more to it than meets the eye? We have to find out, get some answers, at least as a tribute for all these women who lost their lives only because they chose to be mothers. What a huge, big, ugly tragedy this is. Dr. Hema Divakar, thank you very much for joining us. Also, Dr. Gowda, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And Satya Prakash, I really appreciate today you said you shall not play politics. Thank you very much.